Hey guys, it's Robyn. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. It is Thursday and that means it is Wax Wars Day. So this week we have the Orange Cupcakes as our winner for the Wax Wars. So I did put these two to the test over the weekend and I will let you know how they did. So this week we had 67 votes and 10 of you wanted the resort florals, and 57 of you wanted the cupcakes. So it was a huge takeaway for the cupcakes this week. So that is what we went ahead and did. So we have Clementine Cupcake here and Cutie Pie Cupcake. Both of these are a vanilla orange bakery scent. So Clementine Cupcake is in the new catalog for spring and summer. It is currently available. And on cold, this one is like very much a white cake, not a yellow cake, a white cake with like a little bit of orange zest. It's quite sweet. And that orange note is just kind of a little bit there. And I think there's lemon sugar in the notes on this, and I do get like a bit of a lemon sugar note. So that is Clementine Cupcake. Then we have Cutie Pie Cupcake, which was a Bring Back My Bar a while back. This is not currently available, but it will be available in June. This made the Bring Back My Bar list for the June Bring Back My Bar series. So if you have not tried this and you want to, it will be available to purchase in June. This one smells kind of similar on cold. I get more of a yellow cake from this rather than a white cake. And you may be asking, what's the difference? There's a difference, trust me. The white is kind of more like almost like an almond extract. It's a very like clean cake. This is more of like a really yummy, decadent, like yellow moist cake. This is really yummy. Again, this one I get more orange on cold, whereas this one I get more of that white cake. And this one has like almost like I say angel food cake, because you know when you make an angel food cake and it gets that kind of hard crust on the outside, or at least on the top, there's that like slightly golden like crust. You can smell that in here, where you don't get that in this one. So that is my cold impressions. I tried to dress for the occasion today, but I don't have anything orange. And in my closet, this looked more orange than it is. It's actually very much a coral. So this is what we got. So first check-in was at 2 hours. And at 2 hours, Clementine Cupcake was a medium to medium plus, probably leaning more towards medium plus. It was really yummy. It was kind of like a white cake. There was lots of like sweet vanilla. And there was like a little bit of orange, and I wrote down that it was not a juicy orange, but more like it was like a baked into the cake type of orange. Or maybe it was more like a little bit of zest on top of the icing. But I don't even get icing out of this. I got more, like, if anything, a glaze. Like, I get like angel food cake with like a glaze with like lemon sugar and like a little bit of orange zest. I do not get a ton of like buttercream frosting or anything like that here. It's a bit of a more light bakery to me. It's a strong bakery, but it's not a heavy bakery, if that makes sense, at least to my nose. At 2 hours, Cutie Pie Cupcake was a medium. It was not as strong as Clementine Cupcake. It was a medium, and it was kind of like an orangey yellow cake. Very nice. Had nothing bad to say about it here, but it was not as strong as Clementine Cupcake was. And I forgot to tell you how I warmed these. So I did them in the open layout, 6 cubes in each warm. So first day I did Clementine Cupcake, did that one. And then the second day I did Cutie Pie Cupcake and then ran that for the day as well. So they were both an open layout warm on separate days because I wanted to see how they would do in the open layout. So there was those. So Clementine Cupcake is strongest out the gate, but they're both very pleasant scents at this point. This one's a bit more decadent. Then we're at the 4 hour mark, and at 4 hours we had Clementine Cupcake doing medium. It was more cake than orange by a lot. I got white cake, angel food cake, with that like slightly darkened crust that angel food cake gets. Found it very pleasant. Really liked it. Definitely getting more of that like angel food cake note though, way more than the orange. Like the orange is now very toned down. For Cutie Pie Cupcake, it was at 4 hours a medium still, so it had stayed the same intensity. Again, more cake than orange, but still more orange than Clementine Cupcake. So it was like a soft, moist yellow cake without that crusty note that Clementine Cupcake had. Yeah. So Clementine Cupcake was stronger out the gate. This one was kind of maintaining its intensity at that point. Both of them were more cake than orange, but if you want more orange, Cutie Pie Cupcake at this stage has more orange. Next check-in is at 6 hours, and at this point Clementine Cupcake is light in the space. There's been no change to the scent, so it's still more cake than orange, and I'm getting mostly that angel food cake note, but it's definitely starting to wane. I can tell that it's like starting to kind of head out. You can smell it in the space, but it's kind of a light background scent at that point. It's not like a hit you in the face type of scent anymore. At 6 hours, Cutie Pie Cupcake was also light, so the same. It was kind of like a cakey scent in the air. Like you could tell there was like a vanilla cakey scent in the air, but there was no orange detectable. Whereas I feel like you could get just a teeny tiny hint of orange still at a Clementine Cupcake at 6 hours. Not with Cutie Pie Cupcake though. It was now just like a nice, very light cake scent. So at 8 hours, Clementine Cupcake was still light. You could still smell it when you walked in, but you could no longer smell any orange to it. So the orange is now completely gone. It's pure angel food cake. I could still smell that kind of caramelized crust on it. It smelled kind of, if you could smell crunchy on the outside but soft on the inside, this is what that smelled like at that time. I did note that Clementine Cupcake was not lasting as long as I expected. At 8 hours, like I said, it was very light. You could kind of only smell it when you walked in. Cutie Pie Cupcake at 8 hours was very light. My husband commented that he hadn't really smelled much of anything all day. So this had been going all day in the open layout. He kind of said like he hadn't smelled much of anything that day. So I had been able to smell it earlier, but it was never above a medium intensity. But by 8 hours in, it was very light. So I had gone out to visit my mom and come home. When I came back in, I could barely smell it. Like just a slight hint of vanilla cakiness in the air when I came in. I couldn't have told you what I was warming. It was like a light yellow cake scent. There was a vanilla frosting note, no orange. And again, you could only smell it when you first walked in and very lightly. Then at 11 hours, Clementine Cupcake is now very light. You can sort of smell a cakey vanilla white cake, angel food cake when you first walk in the front door. No orange is detectable at this point. You cannot smell it once you've been in the space for a few minutes. And I noticed that you couldn't even really smell it at all when you left the room and came back in. So if it hadn't been bedtime at 11 hours, I would have been changing this one. Because it was bedtime, I let it just kind of go overnight, but I was thinking this one was pretty much done at 11 hours. At 11 hours, Cutie Pie Cupcake was also very light. I would say at this point, this one was done. I called it finished at 11 hours because you couldn't really notice it at all when you walked in anymore. And I had washed my kitchen with Perfect Peppermint Cleaner, just like the counter clean, sprayed things down, wiped things up, and that completely overtook the scent of whatever was remaining in the air of this. So at 11 hours, I declared this one finished because even like a tiny bit of like a fairly lightly scented cleaning product could completely overtake it, and you couldn't really smell it when you walked in the room anyways. So at 11 hours, this one was called. It is done. This one hadn't been called yet at 11 hours because it was still kind of hanging on just a little bit more. You could still smell it when you walked in initially, a little bit. At 14 hours, just before I went to bed, I checked on Clementine Cupcake again, and at 14 hours, I would say it was pretty much done. You could no longer smell it in the space or when you were walking near the warmers even. And again, I would have changed it right then, but I was going to bed, but I did declare it finished at 14 hours. So that is how things did. We didn't go beyond 14 hours with this test because neither one of them outlasted more than 14 hours. Then we come to our scent awards. So strength at peak. So which scent was the strongest initially, or which scent was the strongest at its peak? At its peak, Clementine Cupcake was the strongest at like a medium plus right out the gate. whereas Cutie Pie Cupcake never got above like a medium. And then aside from that, this one did kind of wane down pretty quickly and then became pretty much equal to Cutie Pie Cupcake. So not a huge difference. This one was just slightly stronger out the gate. Then for duration, they were pretty neck and neck, and honestly, neither one was a very long performer. They were both very much a one-day kind of scent. But Clementine Cupcake got just like a few hours more. They were both pretty light for like half of the warm, but Clementine Cupcake outlasted just a few more hours. So there's that. That being said, I wouldn't base your purchasing decision based on just that, because they were so neck and neck, I don't think it matters. I think because you can only get this one right now, go with that. I do really like Cutie Pie Cupcake, and I think they're different enough that you could justify both. For scent appeal, for me, I like these for different things. Like, I think I like them equally, but I like this as more of an all-purpose bakery scent. So as my all-purpose orange cupcake scent, I would pick Cutie Pie Cupcake. I prefer the scent just slightly. I prefer more of a vanilla frosting with orange kind of decadent yellow cake to the angel food cake. However, I think Clementine Cupcake is a more unique scent. I think I have never smelled very many angel food cake scents in my time with Scentsy or with just using home fragrance for over a decade. This is a little bit different for me, and I like it. So this for me reads more of a summer bakery, which makes sense because it's in the summer catalog. I see what they were going for here. It's a light, airy orange cupcake that isn't heavy and like heavy. It's a light, kind of summery angel food cake. This one is your more classic yellow cake with vanilla frosting and some orange to it. So are they similar? A little bit. Do they perform about the same? Pretty darn close. This one was a little bit stronger for a little while and a little bit longer towards the end. But performance was not really dramatically different in any way. Like, sometimes you'll get them where they're like many hours apart. Like last week we did the lemons, and lemon squeeze the day outlasted lemon sorbet by many hours. In this case, they were pretty neck and neck, and it was a pretty close draw. So overall performance, I would say, is neck and neck. If I had to pick one, it would be hard. I would pick Cutie Pie Cupcake. I would still purchase more Clementine Cupcake. I would repurchase both of these bars. I would probably stock up on this one before fall myself. I don't know that this is club worthy for me. This probably is club worthy for me. So that's where I kind of stand. I prefer more of a like foodie bakery. This is more of like a summer bakery, like I said. So again, purchasing decision wise, it's gonna have to be up to you. If you want a more summer friendly bakery, Clementine Cupcake's the way to go. But I would say if you like bakery scents in general, you really probably should try Cutie Pie Cupcake when it comes out in June. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. I hope that was helpful. And now is the part of the video where you guys get to vote on what I'm doing next week. So I'm doing something just a little bit different this week because I have a very large haul coming in the next week or so. It just shipped today as I'm filming this. And it might be here by next week, but it will not be here by this Saturday when I do the Wax Wars. At least I'm pretty sure it won't be. So I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different this week because all of my other stuff and my Wax War ideas are either winter catalog ideas or they are summer catalog ideas that I don't have bars for yet. So we're doing something just a little bit different this week only. So the first option is a option that I just kind of came up with. It is the All Is Well Vitamin I Inhale Bar versus the Disney Fearless by Nature bar. This one is currently available to consultants and will be available to the general public very soon. And frozen is not currently available, but it recently was, so many of you may have it in your stash. So these are both kind of green, outdoorsy nature scents. They're very green. They're both very pretty. This one is much more soapy. I really like this one. But they do have some similarities, enough that I would be curious to warm them at the same time or compare the two more closely. So if you want these two, just say you want the greens, and that will be Fearless by Nature and Vitamin I. The other option is one we haven't done before, and I don't know that we'll do again. Well, we probably will. This is a 4-way Wax War. I've done 3-way ones. We're gonna do a 4-way one potentially. I have these bars here, and you can hear Piper in the background going wild because it's windy outside and the noise is making her interested and she wants to go outside even though she's not allowed to go outside. So I have these 4 bars here, and they happen to be the Disney Princess collection. And you might ask, why am I showing you these bars that are not available? Well, I'm showing you them because we just found out today that this particular one is coming back at the end of this month, or sometime this month. This is Cinderella Happily Ever After, and she's coming back with the Cinderella's Carriage warmer. We're so excited. And there will be a mini warmer as well available. We don't know what that looks like yet, but I thought it would be fun to use this opportunity to do a Princess Wars. So none of these scents are like super similar. They're all floral scents, and that's about all they have in common. This one's more of a gardenia, kind of powdery floral. This one is more of like a Belle is almost more of like a yellow rose type scent. We have Ariel Under the Sea, which is more of like an aquatic, like water lily type floral. It's pretty, kind of reminds me of the one from the Valentine's Day collection with the cucumber and the water lily. Together Forever, no. You're the One. It smells kind of like You're the One to me, so that could be an interesting comparison too. We also have Mulan True to Your Heart, which is a really pretty, like gingery, really pretty floral. Really like that one a lot. So those are the options this week. It's a little bit different than usual because I'm waiting on so many bars. So we have the 4 princesses, and I'll probably do these in bedrooms over the course of 2 days. So if you want the 4 princesses to battle it out, put the princesses below. And if you want to see Sven from Frozen battle with Irish Spring Soap, put the greens down below. So we got Vitamin I and Fearless by Nature. So those are your options for this week. Let me know what you would like to see, and I will get to filming that for you this weekend. Hope you're having a good week wherever you are. I am waiting on so many things right now. I've got 3 orders that have shipped and are on their way, and combined they're probably my biggest haul ever. There's a lot there. I closed out several parties. That is what we've got for today, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.